Hey guys, so I'm here at the Curl Company in Greensboro, and today I'm getting a wash and go done by my stylist Octavia. She's in the back here getting a couple things. So I'm a little bit ahead of you guys. So prior to this, Octavia washed my hair, she conditioned it, detangled it. She has these nice chunky twists. You guys know I've been doing my 4C wash and go series, so I thought, what better way to end it by doing a professionally done wash and go. So I'm gonna let you guys sit back and relax. I'm gonna be asking Octavia some questions here. A lot of questions that I see you guys ask me, or a lot of questions I see floating around the YouTube community in general. So hopefully this session will help you guys learn a thing or two about doing your wash and goes.
So I just want to show you guys really quickly, this is what my hair looked like when I first came into the salon. As you can see, it's super dry and shrunken. So this is what my hair looked like before she washed it. And then now we're going to jump back to after she washed and conditioned it, and we're going to jump right into the wash and go process. Alright you guys, so I'm going to sum up the first parts of this video just because it's already super long with all the questions. So first I basically asked about wash and go prep. I asked her, what exactly do you need to do to your hair before you begin the wash and go process? And so what she told me basically is to make sure you start off on a clean slate. And that's mostly because you don't want the products that you're putting into your hair to clash with any old products that you may have in your hair. You know, originally I thought it was part of the reason was because of curl definition and stuff, but she said, you know, the main reason that she emphasizes that is because you don't want the new products that you're putting into your hair to contrast with any old oils and stuff, because that's also how you may potentially get some product buildup. I then asked her about detangling the hair prior to beginning the wash and go process, and of course she said 100% that is a good idea, just because if you don't start off by detangling your hair, you're gonna waste a lot of time when you're actually putting in the products and trying to define those curls. You're gonna waste a lot of time trying to detangle your hair. So you wanna go ahead, detangle your hair prior, knock that out of the way before you go in with those styling products. I also asked about making sure, if it's necessary, to make sure that your hair is wet when you're applying these products. I guess it's specifically for a wash and go. She definitely said that if you have a denser hair texture, making sure your hair is wet or constantly spraying it with the water while you're applying your products for your wash and go is definitely beneficial. Because I have a denser hair texture, she said me specifically, using water is just a lot easier to help break through my hair with the products. It helps smooth the product throughout my strands as well. She also mentioned that she knows a lot of girls are afraid of putting in too much water because they don't want that shrinkage. That's never really been my concern, but I know some people have that concern. And so she said, don't be afraid of it. You can always stretch your hair out afterwards via banding or whatever technique you like to use. So don't be afraid to use water. So now that I've summarized that first little bit of our wash and go session, I'm going to hand it over to Octavia to explain a little bit more about using products into your hair and different techniques you can use to achieve a good wash and go.
Can you walk, I guess, my YouTube fam through what you're doing right now with your wash and go process, and maybe advice if they want to try it at home, I guess what process they should follow? So assuming they've already washed their hair, conditioned, detangled. I guess what kind of order of products should they do? Like a leave-in conditioner, then a styling product? And if you could cater your answer maybe to my 4C girls or girls with my hair texture, that's my majority of my audience here.
Sure. So, I like to work with moisturizing products because, again, if your hair is moisturized, then your hair is happy, you know. So if you're trying to achieve a wash and go, then, you know, making sure that your products are moisturizing. And so I like to start off with, especially if you have dense, coarse hair like yours, I like to start off with something nice and moisturized. So what I'm using for you is the Uncle Funky's Curly Magic Curl Stimulator, which it has the consistency of a jelly, but it's very moisturizing. It moves through the hair very smoothly. And so I apply that, and then on top of that, I go in with the Extreme Wet Line Gel, and that just really allows the curls to, it gives the curls hold definition, and it's smoothed in that curly magic. So they really work well together in creating definition, moisture, as well as hold. Even with the Uncle Funky, just using the curly magic, it works well as leave-in and styler. So you don't need to pile on so many products at one time. It's so hydrating in that way.
So let's say someone doesn't have Uncle Funky's. I guess is there certain like ingredients or certain product titles we should look for to know if a product's gonna basically do that?
Not necessarily, because there are so many products out there with so many different ingredients. And I don't like to say get this product over this product. Everybody's hair reacts differently to products, but when it comes to the jellies in particular, most jelly products that you have will have some type of marshmallow extract in it, which gives it that custardy feel and really locks in moisture. And so if any product, I would say if you're looking for a jelly consistency, look for that ingredient. But really, it's all a matter of trial and error when it comes to products for different textures.
There's so many different wash and go techniques. I see some girls do finger coils. I see some girls literally separating out in strands, which I've been guilty of doing many times. I know there's a lot of different ways to wash and go. So I guess what's your take on what each one gives you, or what should be a go-to method?
Well, I have my preferred method, but I honestly say, hey, whatever works for you and whatever look you're going for, then you can do that. I like to just accentuate the natural pattern of the curl, so I don't do a lot of finger coiling. I just like to go through with my fingers, applying the product and breaking with one hand, and then smoothing down the hair with the other. That's my go-to technique in achieving the best defined curls. It's so much, but really you find what works best for you that gives you the best look. To me, it's mostly about smoothing that product down the hair strand to achieve the best defined curls. I think it's important too when you're working with the wash and go to section and to really take your time getting that product in the hair. Because a lot of people want to take big sections and go through and just smash the product in, and that's not doing anything for your hair as far as definition. And so really taking your time, breaking those sections down into smaller sections, working that product through, smoothing it through, and setting those curls. In some areas of certain hair types, you have different hair types all over the entire head. So you may have a looser texture here in the middle, or it may be tighter. So certain areas may need a little extra TLC. Once you learn your hair, then you're able to work with it. So what I like to do is apply the product at the root and work it down the hair strand. Because a lot of times people will do a wash and go and they totally miss the roots, and they have really, really puffy roots and curly ends. So you want to make sure that you're, again, thorough with applying the product throughout your hair. And I do this rake and smooth method until I feel like the hair is at the point of where it's nice and defined.
The rake part, can you use your fingers or like comb, or does it have to be I guess you have a shampoo brush or something?
Yeah, for the most part I use my fingers.
Okay.
But if there's an area that's a little tangled, I'll go back in with the shampoo brush just to get those tangles out. But yeah, I prefer to use my fingers to rake.
There's so many girls who feel like Porosity girls cannot do a wash and go. So I guess would you say that's somewhat true, completely false? Do you think a wash and go is possible for everybody?
Yeah, I would say yes, because then, it's possible to wear your hair in its natural state. Will your curl be the same as everybody that you see on YouTube? Absolutely not. But I think it's all a matter of, like you said, figuring out what your hair can do, what your curls are capable of. And also, I think it's very important that your hair is moisturized, because many people feel that their hair can't do because of their texture, but it's not the texture, it's the moisture that's missing. So I think that's one of the biggest things. Once someone's hair is moisturized the way that it should be, then they're able to do so much more with their hair, especially a wash and go. A wash and go is really the go-to, should be the go-to style to wearing your curls.
That's honestly such a good point that you brought up moisture being really a really big factor of getting your curls to define. So would you say it's more so like instant moisture, like, oh, I put in this product so my hair should be moisturized, or more so like your hair's overall health and condition and moisture level?
Overall health of your hair, for sure, because I mean there's so many products out there that you put them on and it feels good, but once you rinse them out, your hair is very dry. So you want to make sure that you're using the right type of products for your hair type, and you keep healthy habits overall. So if you want moisturized, healthy hair, you know, you have to stay hydrated internally and all those other things. So
now let me ask another question. This one's going to be around shrinkage, because on the flip side, if it's not curl definition, I hear a lot of girls with 4C hair complain, or just natural hair in general, complain about the massive amount of shrinkage they get when they do a wash and go style. So, I mean, of course, shrinkage is going to be inevitable, but do you have some tips on how to prevent shrinkage from happening as much?
that is like the biggest question that so many people. And shrinkage is one of those things where people just hate shrinkage, when honestly shrinkage should, I always say embrace the shrinkage, because that's an indication that your hair is healthy, it's doing what it's supposed to be doing. It's a curl, so it should spring in its coily state, spring back to its place. And so that's just what our hair does. So shrinkage is a good thing, so don't hate on the shrinkage, but you want your curls to hang, you want them to look good, you don't want them to be completely just matted to your head. So I think that goes with the technique that you use, not necessarily the products, but the technique. You know, there are a lot of products out there that say, you know, no shrinkage. To elongate a curl, you want to use something that is a bit heavier than something light as a mousse. You're not going to get much elongation from a mousse because it's so light. So something heavier like this extreme gel is going to give you, it's going to stretch out and elongate those curls more so. Because you can have someone with dense hair like yours, but it's not coarse, it's more fine. You can have someone with very thin hair, but very coarse strands. And so all of that plays into the type of product. So to figure out what works for you, it's more of a try it, and if it doesn't work, you know, that's just, then you know that, okay, my hair needs something a little heavier, or my hair needs something a little lighter because my curls are way down. You know, that's what it's all about, learning your hair, what works for your hair.
And I guess what I've learned from you is sometimes it's not even one product. Sometimes you might, I guess like we're doing now, have to layer a couple because they work together. So
right.
I feel that's something a lot of us girls, like, we don't really know what to do. We think, oh, the wet line itself should do it, or the eco styler itself should do it. You know, that's, I feel like a really big misconception, especially for myself. I'm like, oh, I should be able to put my leave-in and wet line, and that should be enough. But I guess I'm really saying that if you do have a denser hair texture, not being afraid of layering up some.
Yeah.
I know your preferred method, I guess, after a wash and go, is to sit under an overhead dryer. I guess, what do you think? I see some girls diffuse their hair. I guess, what do you think the benefit of each? I guess sitting under a dryer versus air drying versus a diffuser.
So with air drying, it's more of a soft hold. With air drying, you're gonna get the softest hold, but it's also gonna be the frizziest and biggest. And so when you add in that heat, that sets your curl a little more and helps your style to last a lot longer. But it also depends on the hair, the look you're going for one. So if you want that light, soft, fluffy feel and hold, air dry, you know. But if you're wanting a style to last a lot longer, then I would say sitting under the dryer is the best method because it freezes your hair in place. And so it allows your curls to last a lot longer. Now, in between is the diffuser. So you have some that have really fine hair or thinner hair, and they want a fuller look, but also they want the definition as well. And so the diffusing allows for you to have a softer hold, but keeping that hair defined and not as fluffy. And I'm speaking more so for kinkier textures, because when you have looser textures and you're diffusing, that allows you to have more volume too. There's so many factors that go into styling and maintaining curly hair, because some people don't have that hair where they need to freeze it in place or, set it right then and there. They can watch the hair air dry and go on about their day. The curls don't need to look exactly like you want them to look while your hair is wet, because they're going to change and evolve as they dry. And so as long as that product is through that hair and it's nice and defined, as your hair dries, it will form and the definition will really come in. Many feel like, oh, I need to keep messing with my hair to get it to look like what it should look like, when really you want to set those curls, and then you're able to go through and fluff and play with that hair separated and open it up.
Would you say washing goes are something that the more you do them, the better they become over time?
Very much so. Especially if you're using the correct product. That really plays a big role in just getting your hair used to being in that styled format of a wash and go. Your hair will start to really fall into place. Curls love to be left alone, really. They love to be left alone and not as controlled. When you leave them alone and allow them to live in their curly state, then your hair will begin to thank you, and it'll fall into place. It's when you're stretching it out of its place, that's when you have
like all the time.
So many struggles with your hair, But that also is a learned thing, because we're so used to the twist outs and the stretch styles, when all your curls want is to be in their natural state. So once you allow them to be in that, then with time, it will get better and better. Not only will your hair get better, just your knowledge in your hair or of your hair will be better. Okay, so shake it up for me.
Just like that.
And then flip side to side. And then back and forth. And then to the front. That's all. Give you a nice soft natural shape. Yeah. So shaping the hair is very helpful for the curls. It really allows those curls to open up and lift up in the root area, giving you the volume that you need, allowing those curls to fall into place, where they're just going to naturally fall with the flow of your growth pattern, and is doing that all without me having to touch and place your hair, your curls where they need to be. Because when I start to place those curls where I want them to sit, and that's not where they naturally fall in the growth pattern, then they're going to go against that. So I like shaping because that just allows them to flow the way that they're going to naturally. Yep. So now it's time to set your hair, dry it. We're going to sit in the dryer for about 30 minutes and get you fully dry, and then we'll fluff and finish the style.
Awesome.
So 45 minutes later, and my hair is, I would say, 90% dry. It's mainly still a little wet at the roots, which is expected just because of my hair's density. But Octavia said it was good enough to come out, and so we can complete the style. So as you guys can see, those curls are definitely set, and they look absolutely amazing. And so now Octavia is just going to go in with the last few finishing touches.
So I have just a little serum on my hands, and I'm just breaking the cast slightly breaking the cast of the product. That down there, so I'm not gonna put it too much. But this just breaks the cast and softens up the hair, the curls. Again, I'm able to go through the hair as much as I am because it is set and dry. I'm not getting too deep into the roots because it is a little damp in there. But the areas that I know are dry, I'm able to go through and separate just a little.
So Octavia's pretty much done with my hair, and she told me that the kind of the cast that I'm seeing is going to soften up a lot more as the days go on, and I actually prefer it to be like this and then soften it over time rather it be, I guess, softer now and then only get frizzier that much quicker over time. But I absolutely love the results. I love the definition. I love the way my hair feels. It's not hard. It's super soft, and it just looks amazing. She already instructed me that at night I should go ahead and band my hair just to make sure I can keep the stretch, and then usually by day 2 or 3 is when you really see that best wash and go look because it's a lot more elongated. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know not everyone's as fortunate to have like really good stylists in their area, so if I have a lot of good stylists I like to frequent, so I always will do my best to share them with you guys. If you are interested, the curl company is in Greensboro, North Carolina, so if you're in the Triad area, be sure to hit them up and ask for Octavia. I will see you guys next time. Bye.